Nah, it's crazy, man.
The water's warm. Come on in, mate. The water's warm down here. Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing, yeah. When you buy young players, they don't. Everybody thinks that like this game, this football environment they're in is like FIFA. When you go on FIFA career mode, yeah, you buy a young player. They always go up. Yeah, they always go. They get better always. Yeah. Now they might not all get to like 90 rated or 95 rated, but they all go up. Real life ain't like that.
Well, yeah,
real life ain't like that. Sometimes you'll buy a young player, won't go up, they won't get better. Sometimes
when I used to buy FM, right? I play FM a lot. I'd buy it, and the first thing I do is go on and search FM 24. Who are the Wonder Kids? Right, and you get all their names, exactly, and then what you do, because you get their names, rather than letting that 16-year-old become 18, 19, costing you 50 million, you'd search them. First summer, I'd buy like all 30 of them, and it didn't matter if they sat on the bench and didn't play or not. Within 2 or 3 years, they're all brilliant on the game.
Exactly.
And it works. But that's because it's a computer game, and the game needs you to win. Otherwise,
exactly. They're playing computer games, bro. They're signing players based off of data. They're signing players based off of a computer game. Yeah. That's not how real life works. If that's how real life worked, Fergie, he wouldn't have spent 30 million on Van Persie, would he? He would have gone and got, so he's going to got a 19-year-old kid. Pep would just be buying all the 19-year-olds. Wenger, all the top elite level managers, Jose Mourinho, or they would all just buy 19 years old, and they just say, listen, we're gonna ride it out for a year or two, because in 2 years, these are all going to be the best players, because that's what happens on FIFA. But guess what? That's not what happens in real life, man. And you've got to mix these younger talents with more experienced players. Yeah, get an experienced goalkeeper in there. Go and get. I said go and get Osimhen in the summer. And what was I met with? No, he's crap. No, his wages are too high. No. Well, I'll tell you now, yeah. If they had Osimhen this season,
they get top four.
They not only in the top four, they're probably up there still in that title race, bro, to be honest with you. He probably gives them another 10 points or something. Yeah. But some of the fan base has been conditioned to be worrying about.
They're starting to wake up a bit now, will be. I think some of their fans are starting to.
Nah, some of them won't wake up, bro, because they're glued to FIFA and they're glued to Football Manager and they don't understand real life football.
Do you know,
you've got to go out there and get the proper players.
LB, do you know, I think it is as well, and we all do this in one way, shape, or form in life. Chelsea have tried something very different and innovative, and I think some elements of it have been clever and good. They've bought a lot of very talented players very quickly. They've spread that cost over a long period. You think that's a smart way of spending more money in a kind of PSR-controlled world. However, you have to now go out and buy those established stars. You've almost got to not even yield on your principle. You just need established stars, as you've gone and put it, and you can do that. But I think some fans of Chelsea are addicted to this. Can you imagine if this young group all grow up together and win? And we've reinvented the wheel. We've created a new way of winning. I think some want to see it through. You get this with Arteta supporters. We gave a brand new manager that's never managed a job in the hardest league in the world, the most popular league in the world, at one of the biggest clubs who'd been failing for 15 years. If he ends up winning, that story is so unprecedented. And it would be an unprecedented story when you kind of build it up from a Premier League point of view. I think some people want that story as well as wanting the trophy. And I think that's for a lot. And that's not exclusive to Chelsea or Arsenal. I think some people are in that category where it's the story's even better. You know, we had Ches come on our show a few weeks ago when they went second in the league, basically telling everybody, if you're not a Chelsea fan, don't talk about Chelsea. I've forgotten more about Chelsea than you'll ever know. I knew this ownership would get us to the top. I absolutely back it. You fast forward 2 months and it looks the complete reverse. And fair, but I think I think Chelsea fans like Ches, I know he wants to win, but I think there's also a part of him that really wants this project to work as well. And there comes a time where you've got to ask for an adaptation on that on that project. Doesn't mean you change your style of football or your philosophy. It's literally sign some players that are older. Like, keep everything else the same, but sign some older fucking players. I don't think they're not changing too much. But if they're not willing to change it, are they really looking to win the major trophies?
No.
That has to be a question. It has to be a question.
Bro, it's like what you said before, yeah, was right. You said they've got to change their principle. No. Your principle is to buy a squad and build a squad that can win. So they bought all these younger players, yeah, and that's got them here. Now they need to adapt it. So I don't really see it as like Chelsea need to completely change the strategy. It's the strategy that they've employed has got them to this position, and now they need to tweak it a little bit to finish the squad off.
Yes.
But the problem that people have got is that they spent 1.5 billion quid. They should already be here. The squad should be completed off of 1.5 billion. I mean, I'm not being funny. Arteta's got Arsenal competing off 750 million, and he gets the mick taken out of him. Don't he, Potsy? People always say, he spent 750 million quid and he's won one trophy. He's got him competing for Premier League 3 years on a bounce. Chelsea spent 1.5 billion. They're playing on Thursday, not even Thursday evening. They're playing on Thursday afternoons. I seen a one game, it was like 3 p.m, bro. Nah, serious, man. I put BBC on, Holmes under the hammer. Fucking Chelsea was on TNT Sports. I was like, what's going on here, mate? And then the 7th in the league, 1.5 billion, should have got them competing for the Premier League, and it's not. So, but what more can you say? They need to spend more money. You throw more money at it, man. It's the fact, bro. The Chelsea fans don't want to hear it, but it's the truth, man. I've seen it one time, It was, 3 p.m. on a Thursday, man.
It was 3 p.m. on a Thursday. I couldn't watch Countdown. I had to stop. Like it was.
It's like your pick of daytime telly, mate.
We won't even be in that next year. And look, this. Do you know what? With Chelsea fans, there's a bit of fun in this for rivals, same as there is with everybody else. But from my perspective, I've said this before. I remember with the Wenger situation, I was saying very similar. I do care about everybody's clubs to a degree that they've all been created originally by working class communities. They're important to those communities and now to a global audience. I don't like to see them run badly. It doesn't mean I think Clear Lake have done a completely bad job in every facet of the football club, but I don't feel like Chelsea are far away from being a team that can compete every year. It just needs, I think you've said it perfectly, LB, a slight adaptation to their transfer policy, and they're there. They're right there. And forget what you've paid so far. Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Yeah, they've got to do something.
Just one question, I don't know this yet. No doubt the Chelsea fans will tell me that they're absolutely fine. But do they have the profit and sustainability capacity to go out and spend another 200-300 million quid? Because they've spent 1.5 billion, and obviously they've sold the women's team, they've sold the hotels, they've sold the car park. Is there anything else that they can sell to get around these PSR? Because you're probably talking. You're talking at least 200, 300 million for me to make that team a title winning side. Well,
that's the other side of it. If they only drop 100 million this summer and it's on 3 young players, maybe without them admitting it, that answers the question. I haven't seen their trading accounts come out, but the fact that for the first time in over a decade, Arsenal's revenues have gone up to, on the last set of trading accounts, went up to over 700 million euros, almost 200 million more. I'm talking about 150 million more than Chelsea. But they've been behind Chelsea for the last 20 years, and now they've overtaken them. Spurs have overtaken them. Man United have always been ahead of them. City are 300 to 400 million a year in revenue ahead of them. They've lowered their wage bill, which helps massively, but I don't, it's a really, really good question. Chelsea fans who might know more about their accounts, let us know. A few comments here. Half of the money spent was investment. So, yes, it is investment, Ronin, but that was obviously to flip players and make more money on them. So far, like, how much profit has been made? And you've got to maybe start making that profit. Like, it's got to come off. You're speaking as if this is the finished product about Chelsea.
No, we're not speaking. To be fair, we're not speaking about the finished product. It's definitely not the finished product, Ronin. That's for sure. Big up to you, bro. But with 1.5 billion spent, you'd like to think you're near enough there, and you ain't. That's the problem. What LB's saying is spot on. You need to go and spend another half of that to get anywhere near the title push. I mean, you can't even get into the Champions League. You know what I mean? At the moment, so it's mad. It really is. Look, you might end well. Might end well. You get top 4 and you win the Conference Cup. Maybe that's not horrendous. Well, it definitely isn't horrendous this season. But mate, ain't looking good at the moment.
Do you think they'll get 6 points over the next 2 games against Southampton and Leicester?
If they don't, it's embarrassing. I think they will. But if they don't, that is embarrassing, really, to not beat them two. My goodness. I mean, they are the 2 worst teams by quite some distance in the league. I would say.
I think
they'll win both.
Are they at home as well? I swear they're at home for both.
Yeah, they're at home in both of them as well.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they can't be.
That'll be done. That'll be 6 points.
Yeah, it has to be. Obviously, Copenhagen, in between. But yeah, I totally agree. It needs to happen. This here says, but will not all the money Chelsea spend catch up with them if they don't qualify for the Champions League?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying
eventually it will. The reason Man United are in this mess is because we still owe over £300 million on all those fouled Ed Woodward projects. Simple as that. So, and the only way it won't, Morton, is if the sort of 500 million that's been spent on young players they're never going to play, if they start selling the 10 million guys for 20, the 20 million guys for 30, 35, 40, then they'll be okay because they're making profit and that there won't be any problems for them. But they've got to start making that profit. And I think they've made a profit on some, broken even on others, and some losses on some others so far. So it's for it to really work, they've got to make a considerable amount of profit. Like spending 500 million to end up selling everybody for a profit of 50 or 60 is actually it's almost pointless, really. It needs to be much bigger than that, much bigger. City next season, we're coming for vengeance. 7 players were told to make plans for themselves this summer. 300 million, then another 150.
Yeah, go on, bro. That's the attitude, man.
Yeah, no, City will do it. City are going to spend very, very big this summer.